In today's video, let's find out how a former corporate sales executive in New Jersey runs one of the best stores in Orlando.
The association helps with that, the events help with that, and just putting yourself out there doing this, right? Like, it's a good opportunity to meet other folks too and see what you can learn and give back at the same time.
Let's take a look. We are at the laundry room in Orlando with Steven. Steven, tell us about where we are. Tell us about the laundry room.
So we're at the laundry room. We're at our Metro West location. We've got two stores in Orlando, one on Oak Ridge Road and this one in Metro West. And we're actually working on a third location, which is also going to be in Orlando. But yeah, this is the laundry room in Orlando, Florida.
Well, it's a beautiful spot. So how old is this location?
So this store is 2 years old. It was a brand new build from the ground up. We did our first store actually in 2020 on Oak Ridge Road. That was also a build from the ground up. So that store is 5 years old. This one's 2 years old.
Okay. And then, so what was this? Did the building went up new?
Yes, there was nothing here. This was pretty much sand. So we've got the laundromat here. We've got a nail salon behind us, and then we have a Bravo supermarket directly behind us. All three was the same parcel of property, so it was literally just grass for probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. And my partner, father-in-law, constructed the building. He did the supermarket first, and then this, we thought, hey, maybe we'll do a second location. Not sure, don't know about the area, but we did our research, did our homework, and here we are.
Well, so for this location, give us the rundown, square footage, equipment, just kind of tell us what we've got in here.
Yeah, sure. So this store is 2,850, so just under 3,000 square feet. We've got a couple 100-pounders, a couple 80s, and then we go down the line, 60s, 40s, 30s, and 20s, and then we've got 45-stack dryers and 35-stack dryers as well.
Well, the first thing that stood out to me among many cool things that we're going to see is the branding, the design, the decor. I mean, how did that come about? Did you just find a great vendor? Is this something that you're good at? I mean, how did this, because it really stands out.
So it started with our first location. We knew we wanted something that had a brand behind it. Our long-term vision was always multiple locations. So we started with that in mind and thought, okay, what are the colors we wanted? What are the, even the letters and the design, the style, how do we want people to feel when they came in? And that's kind of where we started. And then we worked with a designer who helped us with the logo, helped us with the color scheme, and then we ran with it at our Oak Ridge location. Came out really nice. Customers really reacted positively to it. So we continued with this location after that.
Yeah, I mean, attention to detail, like down to the font, like everything is just really perfect. And one of the other things that I noticed is the ceilings.
Yes.
How tall is this here? Because I know there's a grocery next door, so it's got to be like, is it 20-foot ceilings?
Yeah, it's about 25, 27 feet high ceilings. Yeah.
That might be a record.
It's pretty nice, which is good and bad, with
Well,
HVAC.
what are some of the benefits? And then so what are some of the...
I mean, the reason why I like it is you come in, obviously it makes that grand appearance. It's high, it's tall, it makes it look a little bit larger than it probably is. So that really appealed to me. The downside is we're in Florida. It gets very hot in Orlando.
It's a hot day today.
HVAC, is tough when it comes to a laundromat, so the higher ceilings makes it a little more difficult to cool at times. But that gave me a reason to get this big-ass fan that you see up here, which is one of those things I probably spent too much money on. But
I can feel it. It's very comfortable in here. It's well over 90 degrees today, and everybody's comfortable, and yeah, that gives us a nice open feel in here.
Yeah, we learned a lot from our first store to this store, and all different parts of building the store, but one of them was just HVAC alone. At my first store on Oak Ridge, it's 3,600 square feet, and I think we've got just under 20 tons of AC. So we knew we had to increase that here, and even over there we added split systems to add additional airflow afterwards. And it still holds temperature pretty well, but here we did 20 tons of AC for a 2,800 square foot space, so 140 square feet per ton. And here we can keep 73 degrees pretty much consistent.
Wow. Yeah, no, it's great and very comfortable. So we're here in Orlando at the laundry room, but you're not from here, nor do you live here. So we need to find out what's the scoop on that, Steven.
Yeah, so I do not live in Florida, I actually live in New Jersey. So I manage both of our locations in Orlando from Jersey. And we actually have a location we just acquired in Miami as well. To do it all remote, I come down every 4 to 5 weeks and meet with the team, meet with my managers and make sure that they're doing their jobs. Some days it's harder than others, but I've got a great team, a great manager, and they give me that flexibility to be able to do that.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll get a chance to maybe chat with some of them here along the way. So that remote management is definitely a theme that we'll get back to. So, well, if you got a few minutes, you mind showing us around?
Yeah.
So one of the things I love about this business, Stephen, is that we've got laundromat owners that come from all these different backgrounds, have a different entrepreneurial journey. So you give us a little sense of what you were doing before you were doing this and what brought you to the laundromat business.
Yeah, so before the laundromat business, I was in corporate. So I worked in Manhattan with a startup. Worked with a startup for about 10 years. Before that, I was with another big Fortune 500 company for about 2 years. So 12 years or so working corporate, sales management, sales leadership, managed a sales team. And then I did that for about 12 years. And during the tail end of that, I opened my first store and did a little bit of both of them at the same time. And then right before I opened the second location, I quit my corporate job and did laundromats full time.
So what was that trigger point that you said, you know what, I gotta go laundry full time? Was it a financial decision? Was it a time decision? Was it a combination of things? What kind of brought you to this full time?
It was a little bit of both. Obviously, financially, I needed to be able to make up my income doing laundromats. So that was definitely a big piece of it. And then I think it was also just the being comfortable to let go with a W-2 job. I think
that's right.
You know, lots of people have that.
It's a leap
fear.
of faith.
Yeah, it's
right?
a leap of faith. You're like, and it is weird. The first, I don't know, 6 months, it was strange. It's like you don't have to wake up at 7 to catch a bus an hour and a half to get to the city to hit all these sales targets.
But there might be a coin jam, there might be a burst hose, there might be an attendant that didn't show up.
All the above, probably.
Yeah.
Yes. So you got to just be comfortable and ready to go. And I think everyone's timeline is different to make that leap.
Yeah. And you mentioned picking up this location in Miami, and so 3 or 4 stores in, like what do you see as the next step ahead? Are you still bullish on the business and plan to do more?
Yeah, I mean, more locations for sure, but you know, when we opened our first store, we also started with drop-off. We started with pickup and delivery all at the same time, and our pickup and delivery also grew pretty quickly. So it's a big part of our business as well. You know, we've got 3 vehicles now. You know, we do 70, 80 stops 7 days a week. So it's continuing to grow that aspect, both the residential and commercial side, and then additional locations. You know, we're going to be opportunistic. You know, as things open up or pop up, we'll evaluate them and keep trying to grow locations as they come.
Okay. All right, Stephen, we've got this great location. We're seeing all your signage here over the shoulder. Tell us a little bit more about the neighborhood, the demographics, you know, kind of what brought you to selecting this site.
Yeah, so I mean, location-wise, kind of a funny story of even how the laundromat thing started for me. So my business partner, my father-in-law, is also an entrepreneur. He owns supermarkets, and he had a supermarket and a plaza at my other location, and that he owns and runs, and there was a vacant spot there. So he approached me and said, hey, a laundromat might be a good idea. And I think in hindsight, it was his plot to try to get me to go to business with him, to get me and my wife and his granddaughter closer to Florida. So that's how it started. So
it didn't work.
Didn't work. No, I still live in Jersey, so it didn't work yet.
But the business is working.
Yes, the business is working well. So that's how it started. And honestly, the supermarket laundromat combination has worked really, really well for us. There are Bravo supermarkets down here, and the demographic is very similar to the laundromat demographic. So that combination has worked well. His Bravo's actually on the other side of the laundry room. We've got a nail salon, we've got a Crunch Fitness here, we've got a Wawa, but it's a high traffic area. One of the challenges I actually had at this location is, if you can notice, we're at the back side of the plaza, so you don't have a ton of street visibility. So I had to do a lot in the beginning with just marketing and getting kind of creative to draw attention to the store. But we had volume fairly quickly, and the store did well, and I think a lot of that just attributed to, you know, word of mouth. Again, the style,
and
the
the synergy with the co-tenant. I think that makes a lot of sense.
I think it helped a lot.
Yeah, good. Well, should we take a look inside?
Yeah, let's take a look.
Okay. On our way in here, and the first thing we're greeted by
our big 100-pounders and 80-pounders. So at another location, we just did 480s. At this store, I wanted to try to get something larger in here, because I knew, you know, we did good turns at the other location. So we did 2 100s, 2 80s, and then we work our way back to some of the other size machines.
Okay, and so you got them side by side here.
Yep.
Step around the side here. And
You
you've
know,
got
we did some seating over here, which we kind of like this idea of like taking advantage of the big windows. You know, obviously want to get every square foot of the space to be used.
Yeah, comfortable
so
seating and
customers
also
love that.
saving some square footage.
Yeah, got some charging ports underneath too for customers, which they really appreciate.
Okay, and we've got your bulkheads running across the store here. So in our next aisle,
Yeah,
what do
so
we have
here
here?
we've got our 60s on the back side. So we did the 60s on the back side of the 100s and 80s. And then you jump to the side and you got 40s and a couple of 30s. You know, 750 event down to 650 and 550.
Okay, and it looks like you're doing quarters with a mobile pay.
Yes, we're doing quarters and mobile pay, so we're hybrid. We actually just added the scan to pay feature,
Okay.
which is new. We were beta testing it with Alliance. Very, very cool. So now customers have the ability to start the machine and pay for it without having to download the app. You know, it charges them a little bit of a convenience fee, but it's been great for us because we're in Orlando, we're close to Disney, and we get a lot of vacationers.
Yeah, transient, one-time
Exactly.
customers. Yeah.
So we used to hear a lot like, you know, I have to put 10 or 15 bucks on the app, I gotta download the app, I'm not gonna be here tomorrow. It's a one-time thing. So they've really loved the scan to pay feature, which has been nice. So we have that and we have quarters. So, you know, Apple Pay, credit card, and quarters.
Great, they can pay any way they choose to. All right, let's head this way. We're getting our first look at your dryer lineup, and looks
Yep.
like we've got some giant singles here. So
Yeah,
what
some
do we
single
have
pocket
here?
75. So we got 4 75-pound dryers. We like to usually have one big 75-pounder for every big washer and
Okay.
kind of make that one-to-one. We also always want to have at least 2 machines of any size, which is why you saw the 2 100s and 2 80s. A lot of that came from my distributor, from Statewide Rusty. Shout out to him. He's been a rock star.
Rusty's been doing it a long time.
Long time. Yeah, he's been in the game a long time.
Yeah.
You know, I think we've had a lot of our success because of him at both of our locations. And then as you go down, you start to hit the 45-pound dryers.
Okay, and how are you vending these? You vending them
We're full cycle dry.
full cycle dry?
Yeah,
Great.
so the 45s pound are vend for $2.50, the 75s are $3.50, and the 35s are $1.50.
Yeah,
All
we're seeing a
full
lot.
cycle
We're
dry.
seeing a lot more of that full cycle vend.
Yeah, it's popular. You know, it's easier. It's honestly less confusion for the customers. In Miami, we're not full vend yet, and you know, I've only been full vend since I've had these 2 stores. So when I acquired that store last
Yeah.
month, I was like, oh, I forgot some of the headaches
Well,
of
there's going to be a little customer training that comes with
quarters of
that.
time. Yeah, but we'll probably transition soon.
Okay, excellent. All right, we've got some standard folding tables and carts, and you know, like I said, this store plays big,
Yeah.
based on the square footage. So it looks like you chose to be able to fit some of these carts under the
Yeah,
tables.
we did that at both of our stores. We didn't do the hanging rods on the carts, mostly because of that reason. It just allows for a lot more storage underneath, which you can't do with the hanging rods. So we've done that at both stores, and honestly, we don't see a ton of customers that come in and hang, so
Okay.
it hasn't been an issue.
Yeah.
We can always add them on later, or maybe, you know, change it up, but for now it's worked well for us.
Yeah, every store's got its own,
Yeah.
you know, personality and needs here. So it looks like we've got some of the smaller equipment here on the
Yep,
back
so on
side.
the last row here, you've got the smaller equipment. So we got the last 30s, and then we've got our 20s, 5 on this side, and then two or three more down here.
Okay. And I see that you've got 2 entrances, both with sliding doors.
Yes, we did sliding doors at both. That was also a big learning from our first location, which we also have a sliding door now. More convenience, easier for customers, in and out faster. You know, people coming and carrying stuff, they don't want to have to open a door while they're
Yeah,
holding a bag of
yeah.
laundry.
Well, again, that kind of goes with that larger loads, right? Having the dryers to match, having the carts to match, and having a door to match.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. All right, now we're heading our way toward the back of the store. And we'll pick up this some more a bit later, but you've got these awesome panels
Yes.
up top. So tell us about that. It really stands out to me.
Yeah, so we did 2 things with the design here that I wanted to add at this location. One was a little bit more ambient lighting, so you also see the LED lighting underneath the orange border, which we can customize the color. So, you know, we change that up usually every day, which is a nice little touch. And then the paneling that you see, same idea. So those panels can be interchanged. We usually change them 3 times a year, whether we're hosting an event or seasonality for holidays, things like that, or promotions. Again, just an easy way to bring something different to the space without having to like repaint or redo full designs.
Yeah, it really looks terrific.
Yeah, your eye gets drawn to it as soon as you come in from the front, which was kind of the idea.
And from where we sit right now, I mean, again, another really great look at the signage, the branding. Really looks great all the way across.
Yeah, that was important to us. You know, again, same, you know, we follow the same branding from our first store. We're going to do the same thing for our third store. You know, clean, modern.
Some accent lighting to light up the logo.
Yeah, we did some accent lighting to light up the logo, exactly. Add some of the TVs. We're not huge on like signage and TVs. You know, we had more of that in our first store. We've removed it more over time, and we kind of like more of the simple modern look with some nicer, you know, wooden signage.
And with the exposed ceiling, I also see a lot of video cameras. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how you're equipped for video?
When I'm 1,000 miles away, I need to make sure I can.
That's what I was leading
see
to.
It when I can't physically be there. So yes, lots of cameras at this location. I think we've got 16 cameras, and we're only, you know, a 3,000-foot store. So and I also have 2 Ring cameras that you can't even notice that are up here. So kind of a backup to our main camera system. Later on in the office, I could show you kind of our command center for the cameras and the speaker system.
Okay, awesome. Now we're at the very back of the store, and some very well marked restrooms, and that's all looking good and offering the fountain. So.
Yep, water fountains, 2 restrooms. A lot of that is because of code. I would have loved to gotten away with one restroom, but in Orlando, I think once you're over 2,000 square feet, you need 2 bathrooms.
Okay, so you turn it into an advantage.
Yes,
right? Making them real nice.
More convenient for customers.
That's excellent. Then we're going to come down this way. And everybody knows this is one of my favorite spots in stores, which is your Laundry Cares Family Read, Play, Learn Center. So tell us a little bit about how you got involved with us on the foundation side and how this has turned out for your customers.
It's been a huge hit, you know, especially in this area where laundromats are. I think, you know, literacy is always a big challenge. And I'm still surprised by the number of parents that come in here with their kids, and they'll read books while they're doing laundry. They'll finish laundry. Sometimes they'll be reading books, and, you know, we tell them, take the books home. A lot of them don't have books at home to read. So it gives them that ability to do that with their kids, which we love. So it's been a huge hit, and, you know, the dedicated space helps keep it away from the other customers.
Yeah, you've got a little half wall here that kind of holds it off. And well, we appreciate your support for Laundry Cares. I know you've done events for us, doing another event for us tomorrow, as a matter of fact. And all the research shows that the neighborhoods where we have our laundromats are often book deserts and have real challenges with literacy rates. And so we find if we can use some of that idle time when they're here at the laundromat to put a book in their hand, we feel like we're doing our best to try to help the community.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a big hit, and I'm appreciative of it too, because it's great for the customers and the community. So again, that hybrid approach.
Yeah, love having the bill breaker there. So how has this been working for you?
It's been good. It allows them to get change for bills. I mean, we're fully attended at both our stores, so we don't have to worry too much about that. My attendants will give change if they need it. But they have the quarters, and then again, they got the app. They want to use the app, the Speak Clean app, so they got both options to kind of, you know, depending on the customer and how they want to pay.
Well, while we're at it, why don't you tell us a little bit more about hours of operation and then how you have the place staffed?
Sure. So hours of operation, we're 7 to 10 at both locations in Orlando. Last wash is at 9. Staffed full-time at both. At our Oak Ridge store, since we process a lot of our wash and fold there and our pickup and delivery, we've got a third shift over there that comes into process. But here it's just during the daytime, usually 1 to 10 per shift.
Per shift.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Stephen, we're behind the counter now at the laundry room in Orlando, and this is really nice here. Why don't you tell us what we're looking at?
Yep, so this is our drop-off counter. We always want, you know, you gotta have a drop-off counter. We do a lot of drop-off service. We've got detergent for sale as well. You know, we like to make sure it looks nice, looks presentable. We got custom laundry bags that we sell a ton of. We have some private label detergent that we also sell as well.
So is the laundry room softener really that good?
It's that good. Sounds better than the Downy.
Well, so if I got this right, we've got the walk-in customers for drop-off, and then are you doing any delivery?
Yes, we do pick up delivery, not out of this location, but if anyone requests it in Orlando, we'll process it out of our other location. So technically, yes, if customers come in, yes, we do pick up and delivery here, even though we'll process it over there. And we do dry cleaning as well.
Can you walk me through a little bit on your pricing for either delivery or drop-off?
So drop-off, we're $1.95 for next day service and $2.25 for same day service. Pickup and delivery starts at $2.50 per pound. and it goes up from there depending on where they're located. The further out they go, the higher our price goes. Recurring service starts at $225, and then it goes up from there again depending on where they're located. That's our closest proximity to our store. And dry cleaning will just vary greatly by piece.
Yeah, and so you have a flavor for the overall business between self-service and the full service. Is it 50-50, 60-40? How would you swag that?
In terms of the business itself, we're probably, wow, tough question. Maybe 60-40 now at this point.
Okay.
Our pickup delivery has gotten pretty big. But our self-service started strong, and honestly, that's what gave us the ability to really jump into.
It's not a one or the other, typically.
No, they really work cohesively well together. And you've got the infrastructure, you've got the machines anyway, so you're always trying to get as many turns as you can out of the equipment you already have. So I knew from the beginning I was going to do drop off for sure and pick up and delivery right from the start.
And the delivery service is branded Laundromat?
Yeah, and I started it with my first store from day one, so I didn't know better. If I should brand it separately or brand it with the laundromats. In hindsight now, it's worked fine, simply because we have a strong brand for our laundromats as well that has a good reputation. If that wasn't the case, it might hinder it, but because we're so big on our customer service and our brand and reputation and all that, it's actually helped us more than hurt us, I think.
Okay, good. No, we appreciate that answer, because that another question
I'm sure that comes up a lot. Like, do you start to have a brand for it? And there's definitely trade-offs to both.
All right, Steven, mind showing us the command center here?
Yeah.
Okay, show us around. What we got here? First thing that stands out is your monitor here for that camera system.
Yep. So we got our cameras up top. Obviously office stuff, coin counter, cash counter. Over here we've got the camera system and audio system as well. Change machine too. So this was, like I said, big for us, 1,000 miles away. It's important for all my locations to have very good security, redundancies in place, battery backup, cellular backup, in case anything goes wrong. Especially here, we actually have a lot of power surges that happen in Orlando. So we've learned, and we've added those things in over time.
Well, you have to adapt, right? And it all starts with having those systems in place. So thanks for showing us the back room.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, now we're really behind the scenes at the laundry room. Steven, show us what we've got here behind the dryers.
So this is behind the dryers. A couple of things, I guess, to note here. One, we spray foamed the wall, as you can see up here to the right, to help with the AC and the heat. That was something I learned from my other store. We're venting the dryers out the back wall, and we did the intake air through the ceiling, which has worked well. Main reason for that is, again, another big learning, HVAC and lint do not go well together. So whenever you can, it's good to try to keep your lint off of your roof to not interfere with your AC units. And we've got, I don't know if you can see them from here, but down there we've got the tankless water heater. So we're tankless at both our locations, which has been great, on demand hot water all the time.
Especially in Florida, where you have fairly warm incoming water.
Exactly, so it's not really an issue. And we constructed it so we have walkway, and we've got space, ample space for either repairs or for, as you can see, a bunch of stuff that we can't keep behind the office or in our storage room.
You can never have too much storage.
Yeah, so it's worked out well.
Great. Well, thanks for giving us a peek behind the scenes. Well, as you said, Steven, everyone wants to see the guts of the store. We've got a bulkhead here. Why don't you walk us through how this is designed and how it's working for you?
We did troughs at both of our locations. I guess now you have the option of doing a trough or just direct hookups. So we did troughs at both. It's worked out great. It's clean. It's efficient. It also helped us a little bit with you're building new stores and you have to do the sewer system pay impact fees. You get some flexibility on the size of a lint interceptor they may need to install on the outside of the store, based on the number of gallons that your trough system can manage. So there's other benefits to it besides just it keeps everything enclosed within there.
Well, it works mechanically and it mitigates things for the cost standpoint.
Yeah, exactly.
So the laundry room, beautiful, well appointed, well equipped, just top of the line all the way around.
Good employees.
Great employees, but it takes a few dollars to make this happen. So you mind walking us through a little bit on the investment side of what it took to pull off this location?
Yeah, it's not free and it doesn't happen in 30 days. That's for sure. This location all in was around probably 1.3.
Okay.
Once you get construction and equipment. construction equipment, impact fees, which in Orlando were very, very expensive. I think now they're almost $7,000 per washer. So a big barrier to get into the business.
Yeah, and so not all of our viewers have impact fees in their area, aren't lucky enough to have impact fees. So can you expand on that a little bit, explain people what impact fees are about and how you try to mitigate that?
Yeah, so impact fees are pretty much a tax that you pay when you build a new store that goes right to the Department of Water for sewage and wastewater, water coming in and out. So you have to pay a tax which they come up with based on a formula which comes from the number of washers that you have and the discharge of water that they can expect from that location. They put that into a formula and they say, okay, here's what you got to pay us just for installing the machines at that location.
Yeah, so as you said, about $7,000 per washer in the market these days.
Yeah, at least for here. Obviously that varies all over the country and per municipality and all that. It's one of the benefits of purchasing a store and retooling it or rehabbing it is normally those impact fees are waived because they're grandfathered in because they paid for them when they built the initial store. So it's one of the benefits you hear a lot.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And one of the last things I wanted to ask you about is, as you got in the business, I know that you joined the association, you started coming to events and meetings, and you maybe speak a little bit about how you got involved with the organization and maybe some of the things that we've been able to help you with.
Yeah, I mean, the organization's been great, the networking and just meeting people. I mean, it can be a lonely business if you let it be a lonely business, but one thing you realize is that you talk to other owners and they just love talking about the business.
Right.
Even myself, I did my first store and I would do, post stuff on social media or on the forums online, and people would message me and I would, I still talk to some of those people today, 5-6 years later, based off of these DM messages that we had 5 years ago when I was building my first store. And they've become deep relationships. So the association helps with that. The events help with that, and just putting yourself out there, doing this, right? Like, this is time from you. It's time from
we
me
want
as
to
an
highlight
owner.
our members.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's a good opportunity to meet other folks too and see what you can learn and give back at the same time.
Well, I just want to congratulate you on another awesome location.
Thank you.
Appreciate all that you're doing, and it's so nice spending a little bit of time with you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's been great. Thanks for the time.
All right, Steven from the Laundry Room is a member of CLA. Maybe you should be too. CLA is your trade association serving the laundromat industry with education, networking, business solutions, advocacy, and all the things that you need to be a more successful laundromat owner. To join the ranks of CLA members, just scan the code and we'll see you next time.